Hello, Peaches.
Howdy.
Welcome to today's video. So today we have another episode of From Scratch. And today, if you can't tell by these ingredients, we are going to be making pesto from scratch. As you may know, the ingredients in pesto usually consist of Parmesan, but if you haven't picked up on it yet already, I really like to make things vegan at home when I can, if possible, and I don't like Parmesan. So I decided that I want to start making my own pesto because of that reason. And a lot of pestos have heavy whipping cream within it as well, which just makes me feel very bloated and not feel great. So that's what, nauseous, there you go. So that is why we decided to start making our own pesto. We've been doing it for about a year now, and it is just amazing. It tastes so good. You know, some pestos have that oil and like nastiness. It's perfect, and we love it, and we batch it. So actually, I'm going out of town, and we have this thriving basil plant. So we decided that we wanted to put it to use and make a big batch, and I'll show you guys a secret way to keep it good for a long time if you guys want to batch it. And yeah, so let's get started. So what you're gonna need to make your pesto at home is basil, some spinach, some pine nuts, a lemon, and some garlic, and then some olive oil and salt. You're also gonna need a food processor or a blender. Now we usually make it in bulk, and we also buy in bulk from Costco, and it's the most cost effective, and we can make a lot, as you guys are gonna see today. So let's get started. I really recommend, if you guys are gonna buy a food processor, buy one of the bigger ones so that you can batch things. This one's so small.
First, you want to put your solids on the bottom.
We usually do it more spinach based instead of basil based because spinach is a lot easier. We just have more of it than we do basil. And the other thing is we kind of just do whatever seems right to us. We don't have like a specific measurements. We just,
especially with batch, obviously, you have the right.
You just do it to taste. As long as all of these ingredients are going in, you should get there. So like right now, he's just filling up our mini food processor with all of the spinach that we have left. So I'd say that's maybe like 3 big handfuls, 4 big handfuls. Then we're gonna pour some pine nuts in. I'd say maybe like a half cup of pine nuts. We're gonna do some olive oil, enough to make it a liquid. You don't want it too much because it will be like greasy, but you want enough. You can always add more. So we usually start small and add as we go. Don't over salt. Usually whatever you're putting your pesto on has some salt. So like our pasta usually has salt on it.
If you over salt it, then you just put more basil and lemon.
Yeah, the lemon usually will contrast it. Also, the lemon is very important. Without lemon, it just doesn't have that fresh, delicious flavor. I'd say like maybe a teaspoon of salt. So if you guys would like a thriving basil plant like we have here, I'm gonna give you some tricks, okay? So first off, you buy the living basil from the grocery store, and to propagate it, basically whenever there's 2 leaves, you cut at that like snippet. So good. So when you cut it like that, then if you see like we've been doing that, and then that's what pushes more leaves to sprout, and you'll get 2 new leaves, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing, and it smells so interesting actually.
Bacon in the sun. This looks like a big piece of garlic, so I think this should be like.
I usually only do like 1 or 2 cloves of garlic, because I don't want it too spicy, but again, if you like something really lemony, then put more lemon, you know? If you like it really garlicky, use more garlic. All right, blend that bad boy up. Do a little taste test. I think it needs more lemon.
More lemon.
You always go light on the lemon, you gotta go heavy on the lemon. Lemon is really what brings that freshness to it. And that needs more salt. See, you know, you just keep putting it in there. So you get it right. How you like it. That one's good. So as I said, we're going out of town and we don't want our basil plant to die, so we're gonna batch it like I said. So obviously we're not gonna be able to use all of this pesto within the time period that we're gonna, before we leave. We're gonna use a ice cube tray, which seems super weird. We have a silicone one here. And we are just gonna pour our pesto in here and then we're gonna freeze it. And it's good for like a month or two in the freezer. And then when we go to use it, we can just we've batched it all and you can see the final results. Our tree now, we cut off a lot. We made 5 servings, right? In the
Yeah, 5.
5. So the ice tray was 2, and here is 2, and then we have 1 more in here. Usually we just make a double batch, and we have this in our fridge. And honestly, we have one in our fridge now, and it lasted us like a week and a half, 2 weeks maybe. So this is more than enough. Honestly, it's so simple, guys. There's so few ingredients, and it tastes so good. I put it on my caprese sandwiches, avocado toast, pastas. So all of those recipes will be coming to you guys next week, but you gotta try this at home. I remember the first time we made it and it was just like we were in shock because we always thought like pesto was hard to do. It's so simple.
Yeah, it's a game changer.
We just batched all of this in like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, like super fast, and now we have pesto for like 2 months. So anyways, if you guys don't care about being vegan, you can add some Parmesan in there too. But I think that this is a great recipe. It's super healthy and it also tastes so amazing. And there's so much you can do with it. If you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and hit subscribe down below to see more of me. And don't forget to turn on that bell icon as well to get notified every time I post so you guys don't miss next week's video with all of the recipes using this pesto. As always, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
I think about you all the time.